1968 Austin Mini Moke. Obviously being a 68, that makes it an early Mark 1 British car. Easiest way to tell is the export cars, the Australian cars, South African cars, had 13-inch wheels, and they had a bit of trim sort of welded on along the arches so they could put a wider wheel on should they want to. This one, being the early British cars, obviously sort of that true Isagonis design Moke. This one was supplied new in London by Stewart and Arden in London in January 1968. That is its original colour of Old English white. We do have a huge history file with it, including a heritage certificate. The other thing in that history file is loads of receipts and loads of photographs to go with the restoration that the car had in 2019 by the current owner. Took it back to a bare shell, if you could call it a shell, bare tub, engine rebuild, all new, everything that needed replaced. If you go through the receipts, he spent an absolute fortune. But we're going to start by having a look at what body weight there is. Then we'll have a look at the interior. We'll put the camera underneath here and there, and then we'll go for a cold engine startup. I have had it down the road, purely because it's sunny and they are as fun as you imagine they would be. If you haven't driven one, you should definitely drive one at some point in your life. Right, starting on this driver's corner. See, obviously it's this lovely Old English white colour. If you look, there is a couple of little bits of like dust in the paint, which maybe once, if we're going to be picky, once sort of cut and polished off, but it's not nothing major, dead easy to fix. And again, as standard, you'd hold something like a Moke, not quite as high. It's still very, very high quality for something like this. A little bit of dirt trapped in the paint there again that once cleaned off, but other than that, no marks to whinge about, no marks to note. And it has got some sort of little crack just there from a stone chip of some point. But if you look underneath there, a little bit of road dirt, but absolutely gleaming under there really. Standard spec 10-inch wheels. Get a look behind there. Nice thing about having small wheel arches is you can get in and around things. We look underneath there, and again, a little bit of road dirt, but you can see just how good the floor pans are and all that sort of stuff. Coming down this side, quite often with the restored ones, you can see builds of a paint in these areas, but as you can see, this one's good. No real marks to note coming down this side, all very good. On the handle and everything, that's all nice and neat. And then in down the bottom here, again, lovely and clean and tidy all the way around. Another good wheel and tyre. The hood was replaced in 2019 as well. The frame was taken apart and cleaned and painted as well in that nice silver colour to match the seats. Again, another way you can tell a British car is the solid steel seats as opposed to the tubular ones that you get in Australia. Again, the hood was replaced. It does have the side windows, which are in the same condition as this, like brand new, really very good. Lovely and neat coming around on the back. Spare wheel lights, everything nice and clean. Nothing to whinge about around there. And then coming down onto this rear passenger wheel, again, lovely and clean and tidy in there. A little bit of road dirt that might want cleaned off if you want it perfect, but other than that, very good. Pop the camera underneath. And again, like I say, a little bit of road dirt, but you can see just how good that is underneath. It's about as close to a brand new Moke as you're going to find, unless you go and spend, I think, about 70 grand on the new electric ones. Lovely and clean coming down this passenger side, nice and tidy around the handles. Normally they get a bit kicked and scuffed from people climbing in and out, but as you can see, this one has obviously been well cared for. All nice and tidy coming down the front there. And again, a couple of little bits of dust in the paint that for me I would polish out just because it would make a big difference. But these seams are all lovely and clean, nice and tidy around the hinges. Normally the sign for me on a good paint job is are these absolutely filled with excess paint, but this one, as you can see, is all good. Headlights and indicators and side lights on both sides, all nice and neat. Top of the bonnet's good, there's no ripples or dents in that. And the windscreen is lovely and clear. Moving on to the interior, and again, it is the proper steel. See if we can get one of these off. The steel seats. The owner has put the driver's one on a runner, so you can move it back and forward if you want, which again is quite a common complaint on a Moke, that you sort of struggle for foot room, things like that. Standard Austin steering wheel, again in lovely condition, all nice and neat along the bulkhead there. Shows 19,766 miles. If you check the description, we'll detail what we know about that. Underneath there again, all lovely and clean. There's no trapped moisture. It's obviously been stored well. There's no marks at all to whinge about on any of the seats. It does make for quite a short video, but it makes for a very good Moke. Pop those bonnet catches off. And then again under here, standard spec, early mini engine. All nice and tidy in there. Nothing to whinge about. Inner wings, everything, the bulkhead, all lovely and clean. Obviously the engine was out for a rebuild, and obviously when it was well painted, so all this, although once a good wipe down, is lovely and tidy in there. Right, we'll give it a start up. It is cold, so we'll give it a little bit of choke. There we go, fires up straight away on the button. Ticking over lovely and happy, with nothing nasty coming out of the back. Like I said, I did have it down the road. It does seem to drive nice, and they are great fun. Like I say, we'll back that choke off a little bit. So there you have it, 1968 Austin Mini Moke, British supplied, restored in 2019, really nice condition. Any questions at all, please get in touch. Thank you.